The Knicks take 2 steps forward before they take another 3 steps backwards. Oh, and we got a budding rose in the garden. Let's talk about it.
Anthony for 3.
I think we see Willis coming out. Won the NBA championship.
Have the first pick in the 1985 NBA college draft.
Season ends the hands of the Chicago Bulls. Reggie Miller is tied the game. The Spurs are your world champions.
New York Knicks select Kristaps Porzingis.
Welcome to the MadGood Knicks show. I'm Far. That's T. That's Jay. We're here to give you all the Knicks news all the damn time. Check us out on Instagram at MadGood Knicks show. Knicks on a bit of a losing skid, guys. Unfortunately, I don't know why there's a smile on your face when the Knicks are losing this bad.
You're hilarious.
Ain't terrible. It's a little progress here and there. Knicks go 1-2 in their last 3 games. First beating Charlotte at home, then losing to them on the road, and then OKC. Russell Westbrook did his thing. Guys, let's go to the topic of discussion, one that's on every Knicks mind, and that is Rose. Derrick Rose dropped 30 points, went point for point almost with MVP candidate Russell Westbrook.
Yep.
First things first, what is Derrick Rose, the Knicks Derrick Rose's identity? Who is the real Derrick Rose, guys? T, let me start with you.
First off, welcome guys. Glad to see you. You're a little feisty tonight, huh? I see you.
I was just on the episode of A Bachelor, you know, it's
Very true.
emotions run wild on that
I
show.
hope you win, man.
Thanks, man.
The Knicks Derrick Rose, to get back into it, he's the official bailout guy. I've seen several times the Knicks possessions look like they're going absolutely nowhere, and this guy just pulls off a crazy crossover dribble to the basket and just bails him out.
He's doing it
Yeah.
like he had done it in his MVP season.
Yeah, he certainly looks healthy.
Jay?
I think he is exactly what we got him for. He's the person to drive into the lane and create opportunities. I'm happy to see that his shot is somewhat coming back from mid-range.
Yeah.
He's not scared to take that 3. He's still not
It's a terrible 3.
Yeah,
three, but he's not scared.
It's not, yeah, but it all starts there.
Yeah.
And God damn it, if Dwayne Wade can start hitting 3s all of a sudden at this point in his
Derrick
career,
Rose can.
I have faith in you, D Rose.
The last 5 games for Derrick Rose, 19.2 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists. That is solid for a point guard. The other side of this conversation, after Derrick Rose had his big 30-point breakout game as a New York Knick,
Yeah.
was signing a contract extension. That is an interesting topic, guys.
It is.
We have been known. I think
Too
it was you who said it on Instagram when you posted it. Who would a contract like that compare to?
I think the man goes by the name Allen Houston.
We all know that guy, huh?
Look, Houston is a freaking great Knick, but we've been down this road before. I don't want to see the same thing with Rose. Personally, I would like to see a incentive-based contract. Let this man prove himself. Let him prove to us that he's not injured how he was prior. I know you were thanking his doctor in the Thanksgiving special, but you know, it's too soon to decide on an extension of that sort, and it's a lot of money. Personally, he reached his peak prior. He himself admitted he's not his MVP self. Why would you give him more money? Why would you give him more money?
Yeah, what can't he do well anymore? Because that's
It's
yet to
the
be seen.
nightly scoring.
He can't win an
MVP
MVP
anymore.
anymore. He can't win an
Wait a
MVP
minute, do we
anymore.
need him to do that? No. Listen,
I don't know. Have y'all
y'all
seen Melo's cold streaks?
Hold on.
We got
Before
KP.
we get into that, the contract, the discussion was 3 years,
75 mil.
That's the max. That's 25 per year, correct?
Yes.
Listen, he's 27 years old, 28 years old. Correct me if I'm wrong.
28, yeah.
28.
Yeah.
He's still in his prime. He's getting back to who he was prior to the injuries. He may not be Derrick Rose MVP. That's okay. We don't need him to be that MVP anymore. He showed us last game he scored 30. He can do that on the reg.
And moreover, to just point out, the salary cap is going up next year. Right now, the Knicks are at $103 million on their salary cap. Max this year is $108. that max is going to 127 next year. Next year, the Knicks on the books have 75 mil already paid for. So that's a lot of money they could spend. If they were to give Derrick Rose a $25 million a year contract, they still have $27 million to play with, to plug in pieces. So that is an intact starting five for at least until Melo's contract is up, at least until the next 2 seasons. That's something the Knicks haven't had.
Decide to bench Noah.
I know.
Next
There's
question,
another
please.
point guard out there.
Speaking of,
There's another point guard out there.
Who?
CP3.
Who's what? 31.
that's
What, you gotta give him
that's
a
an
max
old
deal?
team, man.
Come on.
At
It's
least he's
an
never
old
been
team.
injured.
Rose at 28
He has
for
been injured.
3 seasons.
Not to the degree of Rose.
Of course
All right,
not.
but you're gonna have. This is all potential here, hypothetical. We're
Yes.
speaking. In my mind, I would love to bring back Brandon Jennings as well as insurance for Derrick Rose.
Jennings, I think he needs to come back. Rose, I mean, it's still early in the season.
So sign Rose
I-
to that
I-
contract and still bring Jennings back as insurance. And what's the problem?
This is obviously on the top of a lot of Knicks fans' minds, and we definitely wanted to address it here on the
This is heated.
roundtable.
I'm tired of this.
However, if you do have any comments, do hit us up on Instagram. Let us know your thoughts.
We answer back.
Next topic here on the roundtable I want to address. This was a fan question. Thank you, Ray.S. for hitting us up with this question. That is, can we talk about Joakim Noah and how bad it is? Second part of that question, maybe a little subjective, I don't know. But yes, let's talk about Joakim Noah. He really has not performed to what the Knicks have wanted offensively. 4 points a game, 8 rebounds, and 3 assists in 20 minutes per game. Guys, where does Joakim Noah's future stand here with the New York Knicks as of these past few games? Jay?
He's not going anywhere. Potentially the furthest place he's going to go to is the bench. But I think Noah is going to continue to be a Knick. I think his conditioning should improve. I see that being one of the main issues. He looks very fatigued out there.
Over the last couple games, I also don't know if you noticed just his physique, it did slim down a bit.
From where it was in the beginning.
Yeah, it definitely did slim down a
That's
bit.
cardio right there.
T?
That's work. Noah, it's too early to call, guys. Knicks fans, let's just give him a break here. Just the benefit of the doubt, because we
Seriously.
do know who Noah was prior to these injuries. You know he's going to bring that energy, especially if he has it. As of right now, he's a little rusty. He's only playing 22 minutes a night, guys. He's not, in there 37 minutes killing us and stuff like that. But I say just give him a little time. He doesn't look like how we pretty much projected him to, but Noah's Noah, man, and he's going to provide us some interior defense along with, I think he had a couple of nice assists the other game.
He did.
He had some beautiful assists, and we expected that court vision from Noah, but at the same time, bro, I need boards.
He leads the team in boards.
Eight boards a game.
Yeah, some slide.
Here's the other side of the card here. It's if Joakim Noah were to get benched, who's going to play in his place? And again, I want to shout out another Instagram follower of ours who commented, Heathlight_2, boop. Billy Hernangomez, a potential option to start at center. No. Let me shut that shit down right now. He is a European player. 34 games last year. Total. Not even started in the Spanish league. He has not gone through a full 82-game season. He will not last a full 82-game season amongst these centers. KP can't even do that yet. Not to say he won't be able to do that soon, but he can't do it yet, let alone Willie Hernangomez. So let's nip that in the bud right now. Alternate would be Kyle O'Quinn. He has not he has not started more than 20 games ever in his career, and that was 3 or 4 years ago. Guys, thoughts about these alternatives? T?
I for one am riding that Billy Hernangomez hype train. Not to start though, but I do love what I've seen from his game thus far. He's got an array of post moves, and I believe against our last game against OKC, he had a steal and he pushed the ball up court and laid it up, and that was pretty impressive to see a big man do that. So I like him, but I'm feeling Kyle O'Quinn too. He would be my guy to start over Noah at this point in time.
I'm going to have some fun. I'm going to mix it up. KP at the 5, Melo at the 4, Kuz at the 3.
Ooh, I like Kuz.
And then the rest of the 2, you know how it goes. Go smaller, more mobility. Everyone's a threat in terms of open shots.
You're being impulsive. All right, guys, final question here on the roundtable. Melo giveth and Melo taketh away.
That he does.
Carmelo Anthony had the practically game winner and 35 points in that matchup at home against the Hornets. And then he followed that up 2 games later against Oklahoma City with just a god-awful shooting night. Terrible, and he really, many are saying, and I noticed it myself, I think that he partially cost the Knicks a solid amount of offensive possessions, enough to maybe win that game. So he giveth, and he taketh away. Will Melo's ISO problem ever be solved? We thought we were so close to that ball movement. What's the deal here, Jay?
I think it will be solved because he has to realize that's the only way for him to win, to trust his teammates. If he looks around for a winning formula, everyone passes the goddamn ball, even the best players in the league, which I think he played against, and that man is averaging more assists. Well, it's just triple doubles. Let's look at somebody from your draft class like LeBron, and he's setting up all his teammates. Let's look at the Warriors and what they pass all around.
Speaking of setting up the teammates, though, he is averaging significantly less amount of assists than he did last year, which is kind of surprising because Melo was really looking for it last year. I think this year he's feeling a little bit more comfortable with an actual point guard, so he's like, all right, let me take a step back. T.
How much time do we have here?
Oh boy, we're running short on time. We're shorter.
Here's the deal, right? Can we bring the camera a little closer? No, it's not.
No, you just gotta bring the face a little closer.
Oh man. Well, here's the deal. As you guys know at home, I am a huge Melo advocate, right? But this man is killing me. It's getting very hard to defend him. And I don't mean in the game. I mean, it's hard to defend him, period, and the shots that he's taking. They are absolutely getting ridiculous. I mean, for God's sakes, Melo, I'm pleading with you here, bro. Like, I'm a huge fan of yours. I respect the hell out of you. But pass the damn ball, man. I mean, when you have fans at home in the Garden just, you know, a little smattering of boos every time you hold the ball more than 5 seconds, 10 seconds, which is ridiculous. You shouldn't be holding the ball for that long. They give you a little hint of how they're feeling. Give up the ball, man. This is just some quick numbers from the previous 3 games. Against Charlotte, that first night at home, man, you played great. There were times where you could have lost the game for us, but you ultimately played great. You were 14 for 25, 35 points and 5 assists. And 2 plays down the stretch, man, you even found Billy Hernangomez when you were double teamed. I give you all the respect in the world for that. I appreciate that. And that's the game I like from you. But then the next 2 nights, man, you let that shot get to your head, and I wasn't feeling it. Against Charlotte that next night, you were 7 for 25 with 18 points. You just thought you could shoot yourself out of that. All right, granted, maybe you could have, right? But the following game, man, against OKC, 4 for 19. I was watching the game, and you were, I think 3 for 12 at one point. And it was coming down the stretch, and there was people open, man. You could have given the ball up. But no, you kept shooting and shooting and shooting. I love your game, bro, but just give the ball up.
I think that there is I don't think Melo needs to change that much. I think what Melo needs to do is just be a little bit more self-aware. And he needs to put his pride aside from time to time. Don't get me wrong, though. When come playoff time, when the Knicks better be in there, we want the ball in Melo's hands. We want the ball in Rose's hands as well because he's got the experience. But Melo is that potent scorer that anyone in the league is going to have a hard time guarding. With that said, Carmelo, you can't cost this team wins at home. And that is exactly what happened against Oklahoma City because of the way that you were trying to shoot the ball. There have been time and time again where you get crossed up on defense or get dunked on or what have you. You come down the other way. You don't even look at your teammates. You just look to score for your pride. You need to put that aside. I don't want you to change your game. I want you to do what you did last year. Average 25 points a game, but also average 6-7 assists a game. That is what's going to help move the team forward. The only 2 people that could actually tell Carmelo Anthony that are Derrick Rose and Lala. We're going to wrap it up here on the roundtable. Thanks for watching. Let's take it to the wild card.
Derrick Rose's son is a rosebud.
Do you get it? You get it? We're back with another
Welcome back,
edition.
y'all. It is November. For all of you who didn't shave,
End of November.
shave because y'all look fucking ugly.
Yes.
Anyway, it's report card time, progress reports,
It's that time
and
of
we're
the semester.
talking Knicks.
We're talking Knicks. And we're talking 5 categories. Remember how your report card had like social studies and algebra? Well, we got our 5 categories, and we're starting with number 1, the bench. The bench has been mad underwhelming, man.
terribly.
Tell me
underwhelming.
not, man. That's one of the things we really look forward to in the beginning of the season, but there's no real offensive spark off the bench. Yes, Jennings comes in, he does his thing with assists, he does his thing with the defense, but our numbers tell a different story.
Absolutely, man. They're ranked 24th in the NBA in points per game. Now that's just catastrophic, especially when you look at the Lakers, which are ranked first, and that is a brand spanking new
The
team.
Lakers bench is the best.
And we've been
bench
trying to
in the
build
NBA.
around this team for years. So the fact that we're 24th in the bench in points per game is absolutely awful. Our net rating, we're ranked at 25th, and
And I know the guys were arguing about whether Willie should be in the
No,
starting
can't
lineup
do
or
that.
not. I mean, a lot of great talent on the bench, but these numbers are not encouraging so far month in. Defensive rebounding has been the Knicks' Achilles heel all season long, and they just allow other teams way too many opportunities. What do the numbers say?
in the NBA, they're ranked 9th in rebounding.
That's
But
not bad. That's top 10. You would think.
you may think that's good, but it's the offensive rebounding that's pulling the anchor all the way to the other side. We're ranked 3rd in the NBA in offensive rebounding,
bad.
but 19th in defensive rebounding. Now you would expect for those to be exactly switched, but
Yeah, honestly,
They're
I
not.
don't really see that like top 3 offensive rebounding effort, but I'll go with the numbers. I'll take their word for it. The defensive rebounding is a nightmare, and we see that game in and game out. The defensive rebound percentage, which is an interesting stat, we're dead last 30th in the NBA. And Steph will tell you what that really means.
that basically means how many rebounds you go for versus how many rebounds are available. So that just goes to show me that their hustle is absolute trash. And I can't believe that we're 30th in the NBA in defensive rebound percentage. That's like, what
All right,
fuck
take
are
it
you
easy.
doing?
Let's move on to category number 3, making points and money making Manhattan. So we broke that up into 2 categories, field goals and buckets. Let's start with field goals first. Did you know that the Knicks put up the most shots in the NBA at roughly 90 shots a game? That kind of blew my mind, but there's a flip side to that coin.
Absolutely. They're 8th in the NBA in field goals made. Now, at first thought, you may think, hey, we're shooting the most in the NBA. We're 8th in making most
Top 10 in
shots.
these categories is a good thing.
That's pretty good,
Not a
but
good
that's
thing.
absolutely not good.
Tell me why.
Because this goes to show us that there are 7 teams in the NBA that are taking fewer shots but making more shots, and that is evident in our field goal percentage, and we're ranked 19th at 44.5.
That's pretty whack. Moving on from the field goal percentage, let's focus on buckets. Our paint play needs massive amount of work, offensive and defensive. Like, the only reason we get second opportunities is because of our offensive rebounding, but other teams get second opportunities too. But let's focus on what's going on in the paint. We're
Right.
23rd in our points in the paint and 24th in opponents' points in paint. That means we don't do shit in the paint and we don't protect the paint.
Yeah, our paint game is absolutely catastrophic. Like, we can't do anything in that little square. That's basically
Joakim
has to
Noah,
be redrawn
KP,
everything.
all that height, all that. We got defensive players not really panning out right now. Second chance points, we're 7th, which is a little bit surprising. Not bad. Opponents' second chance points, we're 30th. We ain't stopping anyone from doing shit. You
Nothing.
understand?
No, I don't think you guys are getting it. Like, we're not doing shit.
No.
Like, nothing.
Points off turnovers, 25th. Opponents' points off turnovers, 10th. Basically, we're not capitalizing on turnovers.
Nothing.
We're not capitalizing on the rebounds available. All those kind of hustle stats that are like, yo, get the ball, make a move.
Get the
we ain't doing
rebound,
it.
capitalize off turnovers. If they make a mistake, let's use that to our advantage.
You know what's most shocking though? Fast break points were 27th.
That's
We
right.
do not run. You would think having D Rose, you would think Jennings, you see all that sort of like running and gunning, but it turns out a lot of that is just wasted effort. We're not getting fast break points.
We've been yearning for a point guard to do exactly
Yeah.
this. We've been yearning for these people to run the floor for transition offense. They've been talking about this at the beginning of the season, but to be ranked 27th in the NBA due to fast break points,
All right, so we don't run. Do we drive? Because we know no one drives in Manhattan, and it seems like the Knicks have really taken this to heart.
That's correct.
We are second to
Sorry,
last in the amount of drives attempted per game. That basically breaks out to 24th in attempts, 22nd in points. How are we not driving? We're not aggressive at all, and we really should be. So we got nothing in the paint, and we're not driving. You would think with guys like, with the talent that we picked up in this season, we would be
Yeah.
making more attempts. But the thing is, when we do, we ain't bad.
No, like if we're 24th in the NBA in attempts, that means we have almost the least amount of attempts in the NBA while we drive to the basket. But our field goal percentage by the basket, we're 5th. So if we're killing it down low and we're driving to the basket and making these shots, but we're not attempting nowhere near as many shots as the rest of the NBA, I think we should totally focus more on that and use our point guards for what they were meant to be used for.
All right, so we've gone through 4 categories now: bench, rebounding, making points, and drives. Miscellaneous is coming up next. A couple of interesting little tidbits. Did you know that passes made and passes received, the Knicks are second in both of those categories? But they're 14th in assists. So like,
Now you may think that makes no sense.
Wasting. So basically, they're passing the ball, but that last pass that gets you the bucket, we're not executing on that. So it's just wasted passes.
Yeah.
I mean, we're moving the ball around, but not in a significant way. Probably because we have bad floor spacing, so when the guys get the ball, they're not in position to make a shot.
Yeah. And it was evident last game how sloppy things got. So many passes kept going around, but guys get stuck in corners. It's kind of like we're trying to run the triangle, but it's just not. It's not executing the way it's supposed to be.
Seeing Joakim Noah, KP, you name it, running out, having to catch up to a perimeter shooter, or running out to contest a shot. Just seems like our opponents are always getting easy looks, and we're always like fighting for each shot, which is why we're 26th in contested shots.
Yeah, we already know our defense.
So with the defensive spacing, man.
Our defense is just absolute trash. But what, we have a question for our crew, huh?
The last
For our
stat, we're
roundtable
gonna throw
crew.
it out to the roundtable crew.
Yeah.
All right. The Knicks, right? Where do you think their best range is in terms of field goal percentage? Like, where on the court? 0 to 5 feet from the rim, 5 to 10, 10 to 15, beyond the 3-point line. Where are the Knicks?
Best of all.
Yes.
So 3-pointers through laying it up.
Yes.
I'll say mid-range.
Not bad.
I'll say probably 3-point because I know Courtney Lee's shooting 40 and I know KP's shooting 40.
Close.
Okay.
But we also have Carmelo Anthony.
The man behind the camera.
Paint. Down in the paint.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Clearly you weren't listening.
Yeah, clearly.
You said we were effective.
That's true.
Man with the headphones clearly wasn't.
The answer is the worst range in the NBA, the 20 to 24 foot ranges, which is a long 2, which is like a shot that's hard to make, but it's as equal as the easiest shot in basketball.
Yeah.
And in that range, we're ranked 5th. So even in the range we're best at, we're not even the best at. I think that says a lot about the ball movement. I think that says a lot about how we're utilizing our 3-point shooters, and obviously it reiterates the point about how we ain't doing shit in the paint. So Knicks.
And don't forget about the whole Melo situation.
You need me to send you that? You need me to? Are you guys following us on Instagram? Because it doesn't seem like you are. Anyway, I don't want to linger too much on this. Let's leave you off with the memes of the week.
You mean the memes of the week?
Same shit.
First Jordan, man, a rock NSC on the rocks. If you this, you get 3 from the Glock. Champion, man, a pop. Y'all a flock when me stop, man, I got anywhere, pan them up. Big fat range, man, a push. Without the top, y'all a semi-sweet like lollipop.